What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. The market is absolutely pumping, especially the meme coins. We have PEPE up 80% today, WIF up 36%. These are all some of the favorite memes on this channel that we've been speaking about for many, many months. I actually hit my first 100x on PEPE, which is pretty insane to think about. I remember posting that back in the crypto banter days when I was live streaming on the channel. I've always had this little thing in my bio on Twitter, which is busy finding the next 100x. So I can officially say today, I did, from the time of my first entry, finally find my first 100x. So yes, euphoria is in the air a little bit today. Everyone's pretty excited. I know a lot of you have big PEPE bags and are also really excited. But mostly, I just want to say congratulations to everyone that is in that trade and has had conviction, for many months when the price was not doing bad, but it was boring and there was a temptation to rotate. Today that really paid off with the Coinbase and the Robinhood listings. Today I have a special guest coming onto the show to do a bunch of charts. We're going to go through all the meme coins and look at whether it's too late to buy them or whether there are still some nice opportunities. We're going to talk through Bitcoin, some of our favorite altcoin setups right now, in order to give you a bit more of a technical bearing on where we currently sit in the market. His name is Paradise, and he's one of the core contributors of the Mars High Club Discord community. So if you are in the Discord, you're probably very familiar with Paradise and his style, but I'll let him speak for himself and introduce himself here to the rest of the YouTube audience. Paradise, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Miles. Good to be here. Just feeling slightly euphoric today with how the market is. Seeing spot bags accumulated from the past year, just getting listed on Coinbase. But yeah, good. Frothy market, and just looking forward to today's video to go over some of that.
Yeah, I mean, you're pretty much the person that I look most to in the Discord when it comes to trading and especially the lower time frame stuff. So I think today will be really valuable for the audience when it comes to understanding where we currently sit for altcoins. I know you've got a few setups prepared for people. We're going to look through some of the meme coins. You're going to teach people a little bit more about the money noodle indicator, which we have in the Mars High Club, and give people a bit more of a look into how you use that to get entry. So I'll kind of flick it to you now. I think the best place to start is probably looking at Bitcoin. Just give us your thoughts on the Bitcoin chart before we move down the risk curve a little bit and get a bit more degen.
Yeah, sure. So in the group the other day, I was speculating we're getting a bit of sell-off because funding was so high. I was saying to the group to look for like a dip into the 84, 85s, which we pretty much got, which was straight into the 1 hour money noodle. And we've had like a nice bounce since then. It's just trending up the noodle. The thing with the noodle is that you want to find the time frame price is honoring the most, and you kind of just bid retest of that in line with price action and long until you're wrong, so to speak. So, really nice reaction here. And now we've had this like instant sort of burge back down into it, and we're getting this like weak complacency bounce. I know everyone's expecting higher prices, but I'm kind of getting the vibe that maybe we might be getting another retrace down to this level. Reason for that being is pretty much got a daily divergence forming. Like we haven't had a pullback since we broke out. I wouldn't say the daily noodle, although it's respected, I don't think we're going to come down here to the breakout level because that'd be extremely bearish to retest that. But we're getting like the stock RSI resetting on the ceiling. We're getting this daily bear div starting to form. It's not locked in until tomorrow's close, but it's just something to keep an eye on. And in terms of like confluence, I'm just looking for this level again. We're seeing the money noodle coming up into this zone. We can kind of maybe expect like lows to get swept into this zone again, but it's just my speculation. Now, it might be famous last words, but even on the 4 hour, we saw that daily bear div. We can see sort of this 4 hour one. It's quite an ugly divergence, but it is like tailing off. So funding looks fine at the moment though, so I'm not really concerned with that. But I don't know. I just think, we had this spike up to, what is it? 93.5, give or take. Just kind of getting minor signals that maybe we get a bit of a cooling off. The thing is, right, like that might just be the top for now. Meme coins continue to dominate, which they are doing, and we just see like more alts doing their thing.
And we'll get into the specific alts, and I think some of them actually look really good for potential like long continuation. It's funny, just on the Bitcoin front, firstly, Polymarket has the odds of a 100K Bitcoin at 70%. So from a slightly higher time frame point of view, I mean, it's only 6 weeks until the end of the year. are you aligned with that? Do you think Bitcoin is going to hit 100K, or do you think if we maybe cool down for a little bit now, it kind of prolongs things a little bit?
Well, look, off what we peaked last night up to 100K, it's only like another 7% move. Yeah, I think it's possible for sure. Can even see this like divergence thing I'm thinking of play out as more of like a 3-drive pattern. And what that looks like is like a 1, 2, 3, like the highs keep getting swept each time as like price diverges on the way down on the momentum oscillators. But yeah, I think it's definitely on the cards, right? If not by end, definitely by Q1.
I want to tell people that like Doc, who came on the show 2 days ago, he's more of like a high time frame trader. So he gave very high level views on the market, like looking 6 to 12 months out. Obviously, your major strength is playing the lower time frames, like 1 hour, 4 hour, like getting entries, more so scalping on alts. So I assume you're going to take more of the lens looking at the next maybe few days to like couple of weeks of price action, as opposed to, you know, the bull run in its entirety. So if you say something looks weak, you're not saying it's dead. It's just like weak on the hourly. So
oh no, absolutely not. No, so like as a momentum trader, yeah, my lens is kind of like looking within the week, intra-week trades. If I had to like give a guess of where I could see Bitcoin in like a few months, maybe like 140K, but I'm not the best at calling future targets. I basically just hop on the momentum train and then I hop off when I feel the momentum's exhausted.
Yeah.
So that's why it's good having the sort of different tiers of traders in Miles High Club. You have people for longer term plays. You have people who trade more intraday and intra-week. It's kind of something for everyone in there for that reason.
Just to give people a little bit more of a look into MH, a bit of an inside peek if you haven't actually joined yet. We have all of the public channels, so the trading channels, the general channel, the meme talk channel, but your channel is down here. It's called Paradise Island. We've kind of kept that travel theme going with the name, the Miles High Club. You have a market commentary channel where you just share general commentary, a trade ideas channel where you're constantly trading and posting new setups and stuff like that. Chart ideas, which is a channel where you post new ideas for potential entries. So obviously you're very active in the group. And then we have Fabian, who's for small caps, Doc, who's for more high time frame trades, as I discussed before, and then Murad as well. He's a new trader, but he's got a really nice system. He's a little bit more of like a range trader. Maybe a bit more high time frame than you as well. So I feel like we have a good mix here in the Discord.
Yeah, I think people are sort of completely covered because obviously everyone has different tastes and different risk tolerances, and a lot of people just want to trade intraday on futures. Others just want to research low caps and invest, and a lot of people just want to take swing trades for the whole cycle.
Speaking of low caps and investing, I did tease this yesterday, but we are getting closer. But around, I think, 24 to 48 hours within that range from me revealing the Memecoin, which I've kind of been teasing. I've seemingly built up quite a lot of hype for this Memecoin, so I hope it ends up performing. But yeah, that's a new one that I've recently added to my portfolio. So I guess that'll be in the Discord in the next 48 hours. It's going to be in the Discord first before I post it in the on any other platform, I suppose. Here's me teasing it here in the Discord. Where is it? Found a new meme. Might be a few days. Has 50x potential if the narrative kicks off. So there you go. Link in the description below. One thing I also did today, maybe you can show the chart as well to update people. And this is just a little trade, but I thought I'd keep you updated in light of the market update that we're doing. I picked up some Spell. I guess my logic with Spell is we're seeing all these memes get launched on Coinbase and like these big retail exchanges. And if you actually go into Coinbase, and I think it's like number 2 on the App Store now for finance, not general, but finance, it's actually the lowest market cap meme that's listed. If it was like that Daniela Sesta DeFi play, but it's kind of now a bit of a meme coin. It's super left curve, but I just think I'm mixing 2 words. Unit bias with retail is like a real thing. So you know how like Doge to $1 is a thing. I think the fact that Spell is sitting at it's got multiple zeros basically ahead of whatever the number is. That for retail is like, oh, they look at it. They don't understand market cap. They look at it like, oh, that's super cheap, So having the lowest market cap and the lowest like dollar value listed on Coinbase in the meme category. I don't know. It's just a trading idea that I had today, so I took a position just spot to maybe play that thesis a little bit. Really left curve, but we're kind of in that market right now.
Yeah, I like this one a lot, actually. I actually added it to my list last night. I was just randomly scanning, so it was cool to see you mention it this morning.
What are you seeing on the charts?
So it was in this consolidation range for, after it actually finally puked down. we had a good, almost 100 days consolidation. You can see how many times it bounced along the range low here. But I'm just what caught my eye was how it was looking high time frame. Basically, like the higher time frame flip on the noodle, sort of the more you want to give it credence. We basically blasted through the 3-day, and now we're consolidating just above it. And we've basically found resistance at this like structural point here. But you can see it on the lower time frame how much that level is getting sold into with these wicks down. But you're also seeing it like find support on the 4-hour money noodle. Now, basically, what I added it to my list for was I expect the noodle to keep going up and price to keep compressing between the noodle and resistance, structural resistance. And kind of like the cream on top of this is you've basically got this huge inefficiency over here. Had a very sharp sell-off, and they have this point of breakdown up here, which is like a supply level. So if we were to mark that out, what my players and kind of what my bread and butter plays are with the noodle is exactly this compression into a level. I actually caught that on Billy over the last few days, so I shared in the group. It's just like a sort of whiff derivative beta. And it's doing the same thing. It's just compressing between these two levels. And then you just basically look for an upside target. And to me, that's always like the gap fill, which is like filling inefficiencies, like you see here. So, up to the next one, I was like kind of banking on maybe a 50% move up to it over time. So yeah, it's a good one for now. I have a small position in it, and I'm probably just going to compound on H4 retest of the noodle, unless it moves up by then. I always trade like sort of between two levels. I always just trade off alerts, like market orders, but I'll have an alert up here, and I'll have an alert down on the noodle. You can actually set alerts on the noodle, which I won't go into now. But basically, anytime it gets tagged, you can get alerted, and I'll just assess it there. If the price action looks good, I'll sort of enter a live position. But yeah,
you're the noodle king.
Noodle master, yeah. Just looking for the compression play, and I think it's just going to do the old swift and fast move up. There won't be any pullbacks. You'd probably go to like the M15 noodle and buy like a consolidation, then it'll just rip again. We'll see though. We'll come back to the stream in a week, see how correct that was.
By the way, if people do want access to the noodle, it is in the Mars High Club. It's exclusively for Mars High Club members. So Paradise has spent a lot of time creating that and refining his system over time. And it's great if you can learn the system. You actually have some educational videos as well that when people join, they can actually watch the video and you explain to them in more depth how to actually use it to successfully trade and manage risk.
Yeah, 100%.
Which is the important part. Also, like the noodle's great, but also learning how to use it. That's where you can really like extract some nice alpha.
Yeah, you can pretty much use it as like an entire system in itself. I do a lot of gap fill plays. Like say we got an entry on like a 4-hour noodle, I'd then be going to a higher time frame, and if the noodle's above that, be looking for like a play into it. If we don't find resistance there, I'll hold my position. If we do find resistance there, I'll sell my position, then I'll buy again on a flip of it. So once you actually learn the nuances of it between multi-time frame, you can pretty much get away with just having one indicator on your chart and being able to trade an entire system.
All right, bro, before we get into some of the more like degen alts and stuff and maybe some new setups you're looking at that look really good, let's go through the probably 3 that people want to know about right now, starting with PEPE. And then WIF, because I think that's the second, and then maybe we'll go to like, I know you're a bit annoyed. Maybe you could explain why later, but PNUT. And I'm annoyed too because I missed it. But let's start with PEPE. Yeah. Have a look at what you're seeing. Obviously, it's insane. Like,
yeah, I mean, Coinbase listing's a Coinbase listing, right? New all-time high. Very happy with it. It's been my biggest spot back since last year. In terms of getting an entry in it now, I mean, when we saw SHIB get listed, I think it pumped for like, I can't remember how much or how long, but kind of expecting the same with this. Kind of when you get a really expansive move like this, you need to go, down the chain. I just scan down the basically timeframes. I'll start at the 4-hour, go to the 2-hour, go to the 1-hour. Basically see where the noodle starts showing support for it. So you can pretty much see here, once we get down to 15-minute, has given it a nice bounce each time. My whole sort of thesis with trading the noodle is like, you just long retest until you're wrong. So as like a momentum trend trader, I'm generally, right on maybe 5 retests, and then I always lose and take an L on the last one. That's just kind of when I know I've overstayed my welcome. So with this one, yeah, I'd basically be looking just for M15 retests. So let me turn the magnet on. And what you want to do with the noodle, you don't just want to blindly trade it. You want to look for it in line with like basic price action concepts. So right here, we have like a very defined point of breakdown. And when that lines up with the noodle, that's kind of like my area for, entering stuff. So even over here, Even over here, we have this like consolidation cluster. This magnet will be the death of me. So that kind of lined up. We're looking for a retest of that. Had a sharp sell down. Found support within the noodle within a demand cluster, and that's like a basic, supply demand price action concept. And that was pretty much an entry just after it broke out. So you just be looking for the same again as it goes up.
It's on quite a low time frame. This is like 15-minute.
Exactly, but the important nuance of the noodle is like when you get parabolic price action, like listings and that, like anything below 1 hour and below is kind of going to be your friend. You can even see on something like Bitcoin, if we go back to that quickly. If you were waiting for an H4, a 4-hour noodle retest, you still haven't got it, and you've missed, from 73K up to 93. So you kind of got to go down and just find where it gets support, and then that's kind of where you trade. So we can see here the hourly is hit for Bitcoin. PEPE with how, if you get like really bullish things like PNUT, how it's just been going up hundreds of % a day, then you need to go even further down. I kind of don't really go down below 15-minute. I find there's a lot of noise, but I do have strategies for using the 5-minute if you want to do so. So yeah, with PEPE right now, I'll be looking for exactly this, I think.
I'll give my fundamental opinion because a few people are asking me whether it's too late. I did a video on this yesterday, but my opinion is, I've been holding PEPE for a while. I'm probably going to take some profits today just because it's just got a Coinbase Robinhood listing, so it makes sense. In terms of outlook for the cycle, though, like its market cap is still, it's at 10 bill. Like I think some memes we're going to see run 50, 60. So I think it'll do really well. And for that reason, I still want to maintain positioning in PEPE. But in terms of opening like fresh longs now, if you hadn't watched those videos or if you weren't in the Discord for those setups over the last 6 months, I personally would be maybe looking at some other stuff. Like I think in crypto, there's always like new opportunities. So I don't think you need to force it. Like if a good setup presents, take the trade. But from a spot long-term position, you can add some, but it is at 10 bill at the same time. So I think there are some other memes which maybe look slightly better now.
Yeah.
But fundamentally, it's still probably going to go up and probably going to do multiples. And I mean, it's the main meme of the internet. And there's so many bullish factors behind it that it's probably going to do well. But you just have to be cognizant of the fact like it's pumped a lot. And there are other memes which look probably maybe a little bit better from a technical perspective to actually enter.
I mean, I've just been thinking sort of left curve with it is like, just look at other frog derivatives and look at other, WIF got a listing at the same time, look at other dog derivatives. For that reason, we longed APU, whatever it's called, and FOG at the same time, which are both frog derivatives, and they're doing really well off the back of that. And
I wish I got into FOG. I got into APU. Obviously, Doc has been chilling that in the Discord for like the whole year, so that's been an amazing one. But I missed FOG, so I'm a little bit annoyed, and I miss PNUT, so you don't catch everything. That's for sure.
Yeah, there's a lot coming out every day, right? I actually really like APU at the moment. I bought another small stack this morning. This is one that we're accumulating on this sort of range low down here in the group, but also took more positioning into the range mean, which also this H4 demand level. And then even this morning, I just bought a bit more because I just like the price action. We basically broke the range high and we're consolidating above it. It's like a, much lower market cap beta to PEPE. And we're also just sort of riding the H1 noodle up. So invalidation is just losing that and closing back inside the range. I think that's like a really easy setup. If you got like consolidation on a range high, if you weren't trading with the noodle, you'd just be looking for it to close back in. And that would be kind of where you cut your losses. But since we also have the noodle there, it's like a double confluence of like, give your thesis some weight. And if it's not going to handle it, then you just jump out. Already it's looking quite good though. I like the structure it's forming.
Maybe take a look at WIF now. That's one I think a lot of people will be wondering about. Another great coin that we've been accumulating, and that even I remember posting about WIF at like $1.50, $1.60. I was making videos at $1.60, $1.50, and now we're at $4. So it's been a good one as well to hold spot.
Pretty wild, man. I've only ever traded WIF and not held it in spot. Obviously wishing I had in hindsight. So yeah,
I guess it's like a Solana beta. That's kind of how I was thinking of it. Like I've said it for a while. Like PEPE is like the ETH beta, WIF's like the Solana beta, and it's kind of just left curve. When I used to say when retail comes back into the market, they're going to look for higher upside play. I mean, that's exactly what's ended up happening, right?
Yeah, exactly. I basically been building a massive bag of this coin called Billy over the past week, which is like another cute little puppy. It's like
I know Billy. Yeah, it's been
yeah.
underperforming, but is it starting to wake up?
Well, that's it. I've been buying it in that range accumulation because we'll go back to whiff in a sec.
Maybe I'll add some of this because it's been on my list for a while. It's just it just looked so weak. So I was just like, do I see the point in entering? But it's probably breaking out now. There you go.
Yeah. So like whole thesis was, really strong coin, just face the really savage, like slow bleed down, then 100 days of accumulation again. And kind of, I think 2 days ago, I just liked how it started flipping the H4 noodle. So it deviated the range low. It's like one of my classic setups I look for, deviates and reclaims. And at the same time, it basically reclaimed the H4 noodle. Didn't catch it here, started building on the way up once I saw this reaction. So yeah.
What's a potential price target on this if it starts moving?
It's just another inefficiency thing again. So it will find some resistance here. So let's say 0.103. But I think ultimately it'll go to the supply level up here. It's like 155% move, give or take, from the breakout level. So I'll be basically holding my spot up into that level there, and I'll probably maybe see the reaction here. If momentum starts to stall there, maybe I'll take some profit. But yeah, I never really set targets to just go, I'm definitely selling here. I always look for momentum to start shifting. So if we come into here and we start chopping around, we start seeing trends being lost, or we see like 4-hour momentum divergences, I generally sort of start TPing a bit. And if we reclaim the trend, I can just basically add back where I sold. And that's kind of the beauty of the system with the noodle. I'm
probably going to buy. I actually think I'm going to buy this one right now because it was on my list, and why not? Excellent. Like literally right now, I'm on my I'm on my exchange.
Pump my bags, please.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Go back to whiff. Yeah, so whiff just clipped the all-time high, and obviously had like a lot of selling, which makes sense. Yeah, you can see here. Is that the all-time high? Yeah, it is.
I'll have to do it in a minute. I need to top up my wallet.
Age-old problem. Whiff's going to do the same thing. I think this is a really simple play as well. It's clipped the all-time high. It's had a rejection. And we just have the really simple confluence of this H1 demand with like an inducement low leading into it with the noodle below. That's like 3 points of confluence. That's what I always look for with my trades. If I don't hit 3, I don't really look at it. I need to find 3 points of confluence. And this is kind of perfect. So here I'm just going to set an alert. And then if we actually get the alert, then I go down to the 5 minute and use the 5 minute noodle strategy for entry, which is basically looking at reclaims, divergences, but I won't go over that today.
It's really meme season, bro.
I know, it's ridiculous.
All these memes are flying. Like the utility stuff's not really doing much. Yeah, there's a few coins, but if you go into like CoinGecko here, everything that's pumping is a meme. PEPE, whiff, Brett, POPCAT. Brett's also pissed me off because I was thinking of getting an entry at 8, and anyway. Mew's doing well. Flocky. I think I might still pick some Mew up on, but see, I don't really like buying after a pump. I like waiting for dips.
Yeah.
That's why like when you like Billy Spell, like these things haven't pumped as much, so I'm like adding a bit more. It's kind of funny because it's the kind of market where things just keep running, So like a whiff will just keep running, a PEPE will keep running. But like my system, the way I trade, like I always preach like getting in on dips when things are weak and not chasing rotations. And you do have a bunch of memes. I'd actually love you to go over them now. Like the Murad memes, which aren't like like SPX, GIGA, like they were the hot thing in town a month ago. And I was saying like, wait for some dips. Like now we're actually getting some dips because the other ones are running. So I wonder if maybe they're a slightly better play than the hot memes right now, like PEPE and whiff and Bread, etc.
These have been my main focus in the background. I haven't spoken about them in the group yet because I'm just waiting for the trigger, but they were all the rage. And then obviously the mind share has shifted off them. But when the mind share shifts off stuff in conditions like this, everything has its day again, right? And it's kind of like you can play like rotations intraday or intra-week on futures or just, low caps and whatnot, but you can also be buying spot in the background on higher timeframes on things that did pump and will come back again. And like, SPX was all the rage and it's just lost like this daily low. So structure shifted bearish here. It lost the noodle. But what I'm watching for is probably going to get the level front run when this video goes live. But the 3-day noodle looks really good for an entry, I think. So we have this low here into the noodle. Also got this other ATR-based indicator I use. Off the highs. And this is listed on centralized exchanges now, right? Yeah, it's like a 60% retracement off the highs.
I don't know. Let me actually check where it is.
It's on MEXC and stuff.
Surely. Yeah. Oh, not many. MEXC, CoinX, CoinW. It doesn't have like Bybit, Binance, or anything.
Well, there you go. That. So if it has another run like it did, you can expect some S-tier exchanges to start looking at it again. So, it's another case point for just sort of giving these things mind share. I think Sigma is really good too. I shared this one in the group. Really, it's just like really clean. It's got this very clean daily demand. You can see like in terms of structural plays, it's just basically flipped that SR level. And now it's just left this really clean demand there in line with the daily noodle. So I think like you can see it actually hit the noodle exactly to the T. If I zoom in, yeah, like it's front ran it by a hair. But when you get the confluence of something like this, I think this is a good buy. Also going to see the stochastic RSI reset soon. So I think, anywhere down here is good for Sigma. This has shown insane strength.
What about GIGA?
GIGA I'm going to look at too. Retardio is another one. It's just trending up the daily noodle. Every time it hits the noodle, you could have bought it and then made a nice return. You can also see like that. Yeah, so do I. And you can also see what I was saying before, how you want the noodle to be respected on a certain time frame. You can tell the daily is the time frame for this because it chopped around it here and it respected on the way up. Then it loses it. Then it starts respecting it bearishly. So it's just giving bearish retest all the way down. Then it flips it again. Then it's like bullish retest up to bullish retest, almost to the T, like right on it. So yeah, like I said, you just kind of long until you're wrong in this environment, and you will be wrong eventually, but you can make money in the meantime, taking all the other entries. So yeah, GIGA is another one. I haven't added to the list, but I have it here somewhere. I don't know what that wick was. I think some whale wallet or something. This one wasn't.
Yeah, it was like FUD or something.
Yeah, and I think that FUD's still lingering around because this is losing the daily noodle at the same time as like sort of looking to start breaking daily structure. So it's not as attractive to me. Also, like look at the momentum divergence on it. Probably shows in like a higher time frame. Yeah, it's a very
good way for momentum shift.
Yeah, like I never buy the bottom. I never sell the top. That's just kind of what happens when you're like a momentum or trend trader. But I'm fine with it. If I can catch like 70% meat in the middle, that's like, you can make a career out of that quite easily. Yeah, I think the FUD is there, but I think once this will catch a bid again, once sort of Murad coins get the mind share.
That's where I'm looking to position a little bit heavier. Like, obviously, I'm holding a bunch. Like PEPE and WIF are now my two biggest holdings. PEPE by far. WIF was like third or fourth, and now it's jumped because of recent price action. But I'll probably look at taking some profits and rotating into some like other memes now that they've kind of. I mean, I'm sure they continue to outperform, but for me, that's just kind of how I like to trade. Just take profits on green days.
I'm exactly the same. And I'm also going to be paying attention to this. I just want to see these. I think it was like a fairly clean momentum divergence on the 3-day. So if we come and see that reset down at the 50 level, which will basically be down here, that'd be a buy for me on the 3-day noodle. Or it's just like an if this, then that scenario. If we don't get that and we start trading up, all I'm looking for is a close back above the daily noodle. And that's my trigger to go long again. So pretty simple stuff. But yeah, this one doesn't look as good as the others, but I think it will look good eventually.
So what else are you looking at right now? Let's run through your top kind of setups that you're watching or looking at or just paying attention to.
Yeah, cool. I reconstructed this list this morning. Basically, when we saw WIF and PEPE get listed, I started seeing MOG and POPCAT and a bunch of other stuff start popping off. So it's kind of like I'm speculating on speculation that maybe these things are catching a bid immediately because people are like, what's going to be next for Coinbase? Now Coinbase has opened the gate again. We're listing stuff. We can kind of look to like where the mind share has been. Maybe PNUT too, I don't know. But I think MOG, POPCAT, and NEIRO are potentially next in line. And I think maybe GOAT has a chance as well. Because like we saw with MOG.
GOAT.
MOG, another trade we're in at the moment from down here.
I've been in GOAT since 20 cents. What's it at now? Like 90?
Yeah, wild. I faded that one a lot in the beginning. So yeah, MOG, same thing, back above range highs, but just pumped like 60% or something off this daily demand overnight. So it's kind of like I'm just speculating that people are speculating. So pretty much MOG, POPCAT.
Speculating the speculators.
Exactly. I mean, POPCAT's been an easy one. Just buy the daily trend until it stops working. NEIRO,
That's
I
what
think,
I
as
said
well.
yesterday. I'd wait for a pullback on that.
Yeah. NEIRO is one I keep watching just because it's basically consolidating at this H12 demand above the range high here. Or sorry, the old all-time high. It's just a bullish consolidation, and the noodle's catching up to it. So I think NEIRO is gonna run again. Got a bunch of alerts set on that, and then goats. I mean, I think the AI agent meta is just going to continue going as everyone else does, and I think it would be silly of exchanges not to look at listing these ones. I was also paying attention to Fartcoin. It's a ridiculous name, but I actually read the law on that the other day on LORE on CoinGecko. I was like, what the hell? I'm kind of industry man. But yeah, you're seeing kind of like a decoupling now. It's not really like the GOAT beta anymore. If you go back on my channel for chart analysis, I was basically saying all I was looking for was a retest this H4 demand in line with the noodle. I was like to the T once again. This is what I drew this pattern here. And I was showing the guys this morning. It was like a 100% move since. So once again, the noodle is so simple. Just look for that in line with standard price action stuff, and you're golden in this market.
I'll remind people again, if they do want to get access to the noodle, link in the description below. It is an exclusive indicator that you get when you join the Miles High Club, and Paradise is obviously the creator and the expert when it comes to that.
Yeah, and you can ask me any questions surrounding it. I've got educational stuff, but also if you need more nuanced help. I also cover it in stream every week. I do 2 live streams a week. One's like a market analysis and chart requests, and the other one's education focused. And basically the whole thing around that is just how to use the noodle in these conditions.
I was going to tell people, if you want more, I guess, one-on-one kind of support or just more nuanced looks at the market, we have 7 events a week at the moment. So we have, you do an educational thing at 7 a.m. Dubai. You can obviously convert that to your own time zones. Then Fabian's doing his own AMA, which covers small caps and fundamentals. Then Morin's doing a charts and education session on Sunday nights. A few hours prior, I'm doing a weekly AMA where I share more fundamental stuff. Then you have another live charting session on Tuesday. Morin seems to have a second. I didn't even realize that. He's just added it. And Doc also has his on Thursday. So, I mean, throughout the week, you're getting seven private sessions with obviously a lot less people than a YouTube video, where you can ask questions, hang out, get some additional alpha. And obviously, since we have basically a session every day on average, if something crops up, if there's a trend, etc., the Discord's pretty much the best place to be able to navigate that and learn about it. So I think, a lot of people are joining right now for the noodle and the calls and the memes, which is obviously great, and we're making a lot of money on that kind of stuff. But the real value, in my opinion, is actually that additional hand-holding in an environment where I think a lot of people are going to need it.
I think what's great too is we had some members that basically learned to fish themselves off the system in the beginning, and they've now been promoted to what we call apprentices in there. So they're now trading the noodle system very profitably, from coming from a background with never trading before. And they're now being sort of promoted to being able to teach members as well. So it's really cool to see. I really love teaching stuff. So the education stream's always more fun for me, because I love just nerding out on all I'm doing all day when I'm not trading is back testing and collating data on new strategies and stuff. Because
we were working on a Memecoin indicator. We were back testing it. Did you end up making any changes, or have you kind of stuck to the noodle?
It's different to the noodle, but it's also similar. But it's basically it's not so much a Memecoin indicator. Well, it can be. I think Dude and I were speaking, and he wanted to add some sort of market cap indicator in, and it would show you kind of, it was more for use on chain. So because this is built in TradingView, it was going to be something that we could replicate into Dex Screener for people who are trading on chain with Memecoins. And it would show you take profit targets with certain market caps marked out. And it was basically going to be a simple trending indicator that would flip colors when it was bullish or bearish, and then a trailing stop loss type of thing. But yeah, still in testing, but I think that'll come out, within a month or so. Just need to get some more data on it. it's just been hard to kind of, focus on building stuff when trading's being so fruitful in these conditions. You go away for one day and you miss out on quite a few trades.
I know, bro. I'm struggling with that as well. Like, I'm trying to focus on, like, in the new Telegram I launched, we're like making bots and doing all this stuff, and I want to put attention there. But at the same time, like, every single day, like, crazy stuff happening. Like, even now after watching your charts here, like, I'm getting more ideas of like, oh, this could be a good beta play, and then I'm taking notes on the side, like on my phone, on my other screen here of like stuff I got to look at. Like, it's non-stop right now. It's completely non-stop, 24/7.
Yeah, it's mental, man.
I'm not even sleeping properly. Like, literally getting 5-6 hours a night.
Yeah. My hygiene's been terrible. I've been forcing myself to go to the gym and forcing myself to run. I'm also
how hard is the gym right now? I've been going.
So
there's been a couple days this week where I've gone to the gym, and it's a real loser thing to do. But I've gone to the gym. I've done like 3 sets. And I've had to go home because my brain, and you're similar. Like, we're both pretty like ADHD. Like, I go to the gym and my brain just can't lock into like the exercise because I'm just thinking about a trade or something I need to do, or like something, and then I end up having to go home because I like panic. And I just, I just feel like so much more comfortable to sit at my desk 24/7.
I've been bringing my laptop to the gym and leaving it in the car. There you go.
That's a new level of.
Hey, look, it's not good, but how often do we get these conditions? We just had to sit through 8 months of
So
pain.
you like doing a set and then like opening a trade, or like how are you doing it?
Nah, so I trade like 100% off alerts. I rarely set limit orders. So if I get a bunch of alerts, like liquidation candles or liquidation alerts, I'll go down to my car and do what's needed. But other than that, I'm trying to.
You'll literally be mid set. You get an alert on your phone and you'll run to your car to like.
I'll walk briskly. I don't know about run, but yeah. That's just it. We've got to make the most of what we can.
No, 100%. It's just funny. Like, our lives have just been. I was saying to you before this, like, I love the bull, and obviously, it's instant dopamine, and we're all making a lot of money. But part of me does also miss, and obviously, grass is always greener. Like like a bit of a quieter market, because I have my good routine and I'm healthy and I'm at the gym and I'm a bit more focused. Whereas this is just completely, I think, thrown just mayhem in the air, and you're just kind of just forced to adapt.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway,
but it pays for the holiday you take at the end, so to speak.
Oh, it does. It'll pay for a very, very big holiday, I think. Potentially a lifelong holiday. So that's what we are.
Do you know if there's any news for alt layer at the moment?
Let me check.
I don't know why that's moving, but that's a big outlier right there. For anyone who's watching this, it's just a spaghetti chart that I got off Twitter, off a guy called BTC Charlie.
Big thumb listing.
Yeah, okay, cool. There you go. So those things were the best shorts during that 8 months of chop, and now great for continuation. I think I'm going to have to add that to the watch list. Anyway, we'll get back to it.
This is crazy. I just saw this tweet from Nacho. Maybe let's discuss this. He said, I cut my spot positions in Phantom and Saga. Phantom for a profit and Saga for a loss. Can't win them all. There's zero interest from market participants right now in longing utility coins. Whether you like meme coins or not, it's clear utility coins are not where the mind share is. I think meme coins will continue to outperform in the coming weeks, with a possible AI coin rotation as well. Yes to the latter part of that. The exception to this is if tech/utility gets a large spot exchange listing, those will likely do well too, e.g. Binance Spot. What do you think of that?
Yeah, 100%. I definitely think he's right about the AI rotation. And I think like the easy bridge in that is things like GOAT and Fartcoin or whatever, because obviously they're the memes and also, the cross-section of memes and AI. So I kind of be looking for those to start picking up quite hard, and then you can maybe sort of front-run an AI rotation. That's also what I use the spaghetti chart for. Makes it very clear, right? You can see the stuff on Velo data or whatever, but spaghetti charts is good for that. If you see, I've actually created a spaghetti chart in the Discord, which is AI versus meme rotation. That's kind of all the top market cap ones.
Nice.
So you got your towels and your POPCATs and your renders and blah, blah, blah. Once we start to see
I think AI will do well, man. I've got a few. I can talk through a few now that I've started to accumulate. I've spoken about them on the show. So like recently I spoke about NEIRO. This is one that I think will do well if AI gets a rotation. It's actually down again. a lot of people are selling out of utility and aping into memes. That might last a couple of weeks. So you might see like these coins give you some decent entries over the next couple of weeks. Imperial's another one for 84. Yeah, this one's doing all right. I called it in the Discord at like 73. It went up and now it's retracing. As I said, a lot of stuff, utilities retracing. A couple others, those are slightly lower caps. A couple others as well that I'm going to talk about soon. I've been DCAing into like DAI, ENQAI, just like building this portfolio of low to mid cap AI coins, because I think those are the best risk rewards to move. Like I don't think in this market, to be honest, I'm best off in Render or even Tau. I still hold a bit of Tau and a bit of Render, but in my like core portfolio. But I am trying to move down the risk curve a little bit with AI. Obviously, that comes with risk. You know, these coins can halve. They're a lot more volatile. But for me, I like to have that upside of like if AI gets a meme like run, you know, these things can genuinely 10x. And yeah, just trying to prep my portfolio for that, which is why I've been DCAing into those coins.
Yeah,
and I know you've been doing similar Paradise with some of the AI coins.
Yes. Just going to toot my own horn here, but in the group, in the group, I know I've said in the group a few times today, but I was preaching down here, this exact candle. I was like, this is a very high time frame pivot level in this range. You can just see the reaction from above and below. Basically, when we puked down into it, because we've got this big run up, and I put out a tweet saying, you know, when we get the sell off into that level, you know, that's going to be the buy. And then we got the sell off into it, and everyone's like, this is mega bearish, it's going lower. I was saying in the group, like, when we got this candle close here, I think I had the level a bit lower. Anyway, when we got the candle close, like this wick down and closed above, I was like, right, I'm going to start going risk on and adding spot, because this is the best RR place to add spot if you don't have any already. Because quite simply, if we lose this pivot, then we can expect to take out the lows. So we started building positions in APU and MOG and what else is there? PHB was another one, which is a low cap AI coin. And that was just like the best entry for spot pretty much. We're still holding all those things. So yeah, a bunch of AI stuff I bought down here. But my portfolio is a bit different this time around. So last cycle I was very much, didn't have much money, and I was mostly in large caps, and like it was, you know, it was fruitful, but not as fruitful as it could have been. So this cycle I'm building more like, well, I built more. I think PEPE and MOG are kind of like the only large caps I have, and everything else is like quite down the risk curve. And what I'm doing is if like a coin like Tau pops off, I'm basically going futures long on it and taking a big swing position. And then I'm sort of dabbling within the eco of each. And just trading like the smaller cap stuff and then rotating out of that. So I'm playing the rotation game.
I'm keen to do some horn tooting.
Yeah, please.
I'm keen to do some horn tooting. On the on the 9th of July, just go onto the chart and look at Bitcoin on the 9th of July. I posted that I'm making, this is in the Discord, some big BTC buys today for my long-term 10-year portfolio. Risk reward at 50K for a 10-year hold is amazing compared to real estate equities. This is all you need to know about the US economy and why Bitcoin will continue to be a leading asset. And I think you can show them the price on the 9th of July, right?
Yeah, you didn't quite buy the Pico bottom, so no clout for you.
Oh,
but yeah.
No. I get like 50. I think I got like 53 maybe.
You bought there, man. That's wild.
Yeah, there you go. So I literally called, I called the bottom in the Discord. Anyway, tooting horns. Horn toot season.
Yeah, I know you're going to see a lot of that on the feed. I'm trying to be cognizant of that on
That's
Twitter.
Actually a very good, like, look, obviously wherever you buy Bitcoin is good, you know, in the long term, but that's pretty good. Like 53 is pretty good. Like a lot of people, most people didn't call that, to be honest. I don't think most people called that. So anyway.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, how did you go stomaching this? I remember that post actually. You were like quite long biased with it, right?
But I haven't sold. Like it's long-term spot. So like, and it's for 10 years. So, you know, in reality, it doesn't mean much because it's long-term. So yes, it's added another maybe 70%, 80% to my net worth. And by the end of the cycle, maybe another 160% of the Bitcoin position itself. But that's just long-term. Like I view Bitcoin, right, long-term as an asset that eventually I'll be able to, you know, the banks will be a little more friendly towards it. You'll be able to leverage against it. You'll be able to buy property against Bitcoin. So if I'm able to stack as much Bitcoin as possible like in 10, 20 years time, you could basically live off that, right? You'll be earning interest on it. It'll be much more integrated into the banking system. So that's why I'm kind of making a big play to just stack as much Bitcoin as possible. And look, at some point this cycle, I might take profits on the long-term positions, but like at the end of the day, I still don't think I don't want to be in cash. And there's an argument to be made about selling and re-rotating in. So I'll definitely sell a percentage of it, but trying to keep a large amount of it for the long term, because we could be in a new paradigm here where TradFi and BlackRock and everyone, obviously it'll go through downtrends, right? But we might not get those crazy bear markets that we did in the past, just because it's viewed more as like a digital gold, and it becomes eventually less volatile. So anyway, I could LARP all day about Bitcoin, but I believe in it truly long term. So I keep adding it on big dips. So I haven't bought since 50, to be honest, 52 or whatever it was. I haven't really bought because it's just been up, and yeah, I like to buy on big dips for my long-term Bitcoin portfolio.
I haven't bought any since 2019. It's just been sitting in cold storage for a rainy day.
I mean, that's pretty good. That's pretty damn good.
Didn't buy enough, but yeah. Hey, what do you know about this virtuals thing? I don't actually know what it is. I just keep seeing it. I haven't actually looked into it, but this chart is setting up so nicely if it gives.
So virtuals is a protocol that basically allows you to launch AI agents. So one of their most prominent agents was called Luna, which is like that, I guess, Twitter account. But virtual is like the protocol that allows you to launch agents. I think it's good, but the thing is there is a bit of competition. So there's Hearts, which I recently bought some. There's a new one launching called Create a Bid. Like there is a lot of competition in the space. So I wonder if that fragments it slightly, but narrative-wise, like AI agents are strong. So yeah, and I had a bit of FUD at one point, virtuals, which is why you saw that big wick and then that downturn.
Yeah, okay. Got it. Well, this is good. I think anyone watching, monitor this one for a trade. I think like sweeping out these lows, taking out this kilo into like the daily noodle here will be like a really nice setup. Probably see a reaction off it. Like the stochastics bottomed out as well. I think it'd be like a swift and fast thing. You kind of don't want to see it hover around here. You just want to see like a V out. But yeah, we'll come back to this in a couple of weeks.
I didn't realize you could do that in the Discord. You can literally, I'm just in the general chat right now. People are going like market cap spell, market cap SPX, and we've got a bot that literally will tell you the market cap, the price, the exchange. That's pretty cool.
I've been doing this for the last month and no one's been paying any attention. I showed them all this morning.
You just write MC, just MC like that?
For market cap, yeah. And if you put FC, you get charts. Now, the reason I keep telling people about it is because if you click on that link, you get the contract address. And like one of the biggest things in the group is what's the CA. You can make a meme out of it pretty much.
That is so cool. I didn't even, it's my group, so I should have known, but I haven't really been using it or paying attention to that feature. So that's pretty cool.
Well, if you type in FC PEPE, you'll get the chart as well. It's very handy.
Do you need to put the time? So do you need to put the time frame?
I don't actually think you do. You can get more specific with it.
One day. Yeah. That's very cool. That's so much easier than TradingView if you just want a quick.
100%. You can also get indicators in. So you can like PEPE USD 1 day RSI. It will show you RSI and so on.
Wow.
20.
Wow.
EMA.
Okay.
Yeah,
very really cool. Tree Capital. That was worth the money for the bot integration.
It's free, so yeah.
Is it free?
Yeah, it's wicked.
I thought we were paying for it. No, we paid for it, I think. Or the news one we paid for. We paid for one of them.
Bot, yeah.
Yeah, that cost money.
Worth its weight in gold, that one.
Yeah. Yeah. That's basically, I'll show you what the news bot is. It's where is the news channel? It should be here. Crypto news alerts. So as soon as it was PEPE listing was announced on Robinhood, it was posted in here even before Twitter, because I mean, obviously DB and stuff have the feeds as well, but you don't even need to go to Twitter and scroll and stuff. You'll get all the big announcements automatically posted into Discord.
Man,
a lot of Discord chilling, but it's very. I mean, you live in we both kind of live in the Discord, especially you. So it's only natural that it's going to come up in conversation.
Yeah, of course. I'm just anytime I'm charting, I just basically dump everything I'm watching and anything I find in the chart analysis channel. It's because it helps me like keep track of it, but also then members can also take their own trades in it. There's a lot of time like things pump when and Filecoin's really moving today. Things pump when I'm like asleep during US session. So it's good to have all those charts there for members to like have the chance to sort of action stuff.
Have you been like, how have you been managing that? Like, do you wake up throughout the night? Do you like how? Because that's really, it's sucky. Because I was in Australia a few weeks ago, and I hated it. Like the time zone drove me mental. The 3 a.m. pumps were driving me insane because that's when everything would start moving. Like the second I go to bed. So how are you dealing with that?
I'm leaving my phone in the other room. I'm basically staying up till midnight, give or take. Then I'm putting my phone in the other room, and I have CBD oil so I can actually get to sleep. It's just what's needed at the moment. Otherwise, I will just be waking up all night thinking about shit, which I don't want. But I'm gonna have to sell some of this soon. We're up quite big.
Altcoin. Anything else you want to? Because I don't want this to go over an hour. Just to keep. I mean, we can obviously do another. If people, I'm sure they enjoy your analysis, we can get you back on the channel. So anything else you want to take a look at before you head off?
Yeah, 3 things, just off the top of my head.
Okay.
So basically, Sui has been mega strong. Resistance at all-time high, finally broke it. So there's really nice weekly demand behind. And the daily noodles with them at the moment. If we get any sort of flush on majors, I think this is like a really good level to bid at like 2.36, give or take. MOODENG is something else I'm watching. Like it lost a lot of mind share when Hippo listed and we had PNUT taking over. And, this thing moves a hell of a lot. And sort of, I think like a run of these lows into this daily like breaker setup would be a really nice play. So just watching for that too. I think this will, if we get a retest down here, it's a very good buy the dip opportunity for new highs. And the last thing I was watching was a trade I posted last night, which was Slurf. I just posted this M15. Like if you get a retest this zone, it's going to be a good buy. It's like a 50% move. But the reason for that is it wasn't a 15-minute play. It's just 15-minute entry just because of the chart. You can see like basically just getting kept down by the noodle the whole way. And now we've flipped it and we've broken out. I think you can just kind of look for noodle retest on the way up. But I ultimately think we start running this like 0.45 level over time. There's also something to keep an eye out for. I think like a retest of probably here, 0.29, give or take. Up to here is a really nice place. It's just one of those gap fill inefficiency things again, like we're watching on Billy, or I can't remember what else I shared before with it.
Billy to a Billy.
Spell was the other one. Yeah, exactly. So yeah.
I hope Spell starts moving because I bought. Let me go and check how much I bought.
I think it'll keep chopping, but it will move because it's getting this compression. And compression plays are simple. It'll compress, and if it fails, then that's your instant sign to cut. If it loses the 4-hour EMA that it's compressing against, you can tell like structure resistance 1. But just from the structure on this, like I always get like gut feel things with structure. Not my edge, so to speak, but it's where I do well. I just think this is going to break this level quite soon. You can already see the sell pressure there. I think once that's, those cells are gone, this thing will rip up. But we'll keep make a timestamp. We'll see how that goes over the next few days.
I'm just going to keep it open. I just bought last night.
Yeah, same. I'm in a position too. I've just got a fairly, I don't even have a stop in it. It's more like a mental invalidation, time-based. But we'll see. But yeah.
That's kind of how I go with some of these as well. Like some of these spot trades, I was speaking to you about this earlier. Like obviously, if you're a real technical trader and you're a bit more technical than me, you can use it. But for me, it's like a lot of the time when I get like alpha, or I just have a thing on like an opinion on something, I'll just go in with like a bigger spot position, no leverage, and just like ride it. And if I'm mentally feeling like mind share shifting, because I'm on the charts all day, I'll just on Twitter all day, I'll just cut when I feel like it's the right time to cut. So a lot of my trading is intuition based. Obviously, if you compare that with indicators and technicals, it's much better, and you're going to get better entries and exits. But in this market, I've become a little bit lazy because there's just so much stuff. I just want to get in and get out.
Yeah, I'm much more discretionary these days. I've got like a mechanical system, but discretionary actioning on that system, which is kind of good. But I think in this market, you can get away with that. You can also get away with like top blasting into things and still making profit. Not advocating that to anyone, by the way. But
you get away with it until the end. Until you don't, like, you'll get away with it until the end, like the end of the altcoin run. So what could happen, for example, is alts could keep running for 2 weeks now, right? So if you top loss today, you might make money. Top loss next week, you might make money. Then we might see a reversal in December. So then you might be like, those positions might start nuking. And so you're going to have to deal with this predicament of like, all right, do I like cut my losses here, or do I ride for the next bit of the bull? Likelihood is those coins come back like next year, for example. but you're going to have to deal with like maybe 1 to 2 months of being underwater, which is mentally really difficult. So the problem with top blasting isn't actually the money aspect, because if you hold it, you'll probably make money by the end of the cycle. It's the psychological aspect of you might have to deal with a month of it going down, and because you got a bad entry, you're probably going to be down percentage-wise more than others, and it's going to be really hard for you to hold that position. And the emotional side of the game is really the side of the game you've got to master to make money in crypto. So that's the issue with top blasting. It's not actually financial.
Yeah, well, the thing like what I was talking about, mechanical with discretionary. So, it's discretionary to top blast into something. Maybe you bought spell here. The thing is, right, if you combine that with like a mechanical
I did, because I'm down 16K, so I must be.
There you go. The thing is, though, right, like if you're top blasting stuff, you need to have some sort of mechanical thing in the background. And for me, that's the 4-hour noodle, 4-hour trend. This keeps going up.
I'll add that trend. Now I have one. See, I didn't have. Now I have one. The noodle. The noodle's just created me one. There we go.
So if you top blast here and you do the same thing where you talk about, where it just keeps going up and it keeps going up, keeps retesting the noodle, then eventually it loses it. That's just where you cut. Plain as day, you don't give it any thought, you just cut there. And if it reclaims, you can just buy it again for not much higher. But if it doesn't reclaim, just keeps going down and does the thing you were just talking about, then you rode it the whole way up from a top blast, but you still had a mechanical system to tell you to get out of the trade, which is losing the 4-hour trend. And the 4-hour is kind of like my bread and butter, always has been, and especially in markets like this. You just long till you're wrong, effectively. Yeah.
Yeah. And the daily 4-hour daily for higher time frame stuff.
Well, I also love the 4-hour because if you have a full-time job, not everyone has like the luxury of, I can't even call it a luxury, sitting in front of a child all day. But if you have a regular job and you go to work for 8 hours, you only have to set 2 alerts a day, or not even alerts. You just need to look at your charts twice a day to see the 4-hour close. So for me, that's like 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. or 2 p.m., 6 p.m.
My bank account says it's a luxury, but my head right now, I have a bad headache. That does not say that it's a luxury.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know.
But yeah, it's a good time frame for if you have a full-time job, you can't pay much attention because it'll stop you from over managing stuff. Unless you take things slow, you wait for 4-hour candle closes. You're not a degenerate like me down the 5 and 15-minute time frame, just micro-analyzing structure. I think it's good advice to sort of pay attention to that. And if you have the noodle,
let's cut this.
Keep using that.
Let's cut this before an hour, because I think psychologically the click-through rate will be lower if it's over an hour. People are like, that's too long. 59 minutes, it's fine. So
that's good.
We'll do another like you. Yeah, I could speak to you for hours realistically. So thanks for joining the channel, sir. Thanks for all you do in the Discord as well. And yeah, obviously there's a link in the description for the 10th time. If anyone wants to come be a member, get the noodle and all the other amazing alpha and analysis that we have in the group.
Yep. And if you're wanting like more of a taste of what's in the group, I also post a lot of stuff on Twitter, a lot of screenshots from within the group, and also like a lot of charts of setting up. And a bit of educational stuff too. So if you like what you see, you can also come and get a taste of what's inside.
There you go. I'll leave your links in the description if anyone wants to check out your Twitter and stuff like that as well.
Lovely.
Cool, guys. See you later. Peace out.